Hello everyone, this is my ECS 210 experience. At the beginning of the semester, I went into this class thinking of curriculum strictly as a document that contained a list of specific things to be taught and checked off when they were completed. I didn't think there was really any flexibility or variation in how outcomes were accomplished, and to be honest, I liked the idea of the structure. The idea of being able to be creative with outcomes made me feel really uncomfortable. I guess it's just the way my brain worked. During this class, though, I have to realize how flexible curriculum is and how much variety there is in accomplishing outcomes. And the power you have as a teacher to work with outcomes, it's really incredible. The system is still broken, with its roots still oppressing individuals and cultures, but as a teacher, you do have the power to work with what you're given and make changes accordingly in your classroom. I think my main role as a teacher is going to be pushing myself to think outside of the norms of how curriculum is done and how it's taught, and think of new ways to meet the needs of my students in the most non-oppressive and non-exclusive ways possible. I now see curriculum as a toolkit with lots of options within it to use and how to construct what I teach in the classroom. But I still see our educational system as a Eurocentric one. And to be honest, we're still trying to meet the needs of non-European students in a non-colonizing kind of way. However, this doesn't disrupt the fact that changes can be made. But it requires having patience and recognizing that change is steady and it can be positive, but it will be slow and it won't happen overnight. One of the most eye-opening experiences in this course was having a guest speaker come in and tell us that the way we teach math and the way we learn math is relative, and it's cultural, which are two things I had never heard before in my life, nor had I ever questioned. This kind of shook me to realize that if math was relative and cultural, a subject that is commonly said to never change across culture, how much more other subjects that are taught in the school system? I guess I realized in that moment that I had two choices. As a teacher whose culture does work with the flow of the current with the educational system, I could continue along that track, staying in a place where I felt comfortable, and I could commit myself to pushing past the discomfort and challenging myself to look at my subject areas in a new light. As a future chemistry and math teacher, I want my students to know that the way I teach them chemistry and math is only just one way of looking at this subject. I also want them to be able to explore different ways of learning these subjects and their content from different cultural perspectives, recognizing the value and importance of diversity in that. Teaching in this way, I know, is definitely not the easier option, and there's going to be less resources for me to pull from and less precedent to work off of. However, it will be the more rewarding option, but also more importantly, it will be the less oppressive option. My ECS 210 experience was one that was really insightful, and it challenged me in a lot of ways and definitely made me feel uncomfortable. However, I think more importantly, it motivated me to look at curriculum in a way that's not structured as much as I thought it was, and it's not as set in stone as I thought it was, and there's a lot of variety to it. There's a lot of variety in the way I can teach, and I do actually, as a teacher, have a lot of power in how that's walked out. And that's motivating, that's empowering, and that's encouraging.